Hello? Whoever just came up from the city, come in. This is Bellamy Ward. There are Dorseys all over the garden. I'm pinned down on a high ledge. Can you reach me? Oh, thank God. I'll call out if I see you, as long as it's safe. Hey! You on the ledge! Hands up! Oh no, they found me.
Or we're coming up! You don't want to do that! Hey! Where did you come from? Back the hell off, or you're dead! Oh, shit!
I'm a fucking ninja.
Oh, now you done pissed us off!
Fish in a barrel.
Oh God. Did the Patriarch send you? I'm sorry. I need to warn you. The Dorseys are gathering up ahead between the Gateway Rocks.
Bellamy! Bellamy, look at me! Have you seen my family? Are they here?
Lucia? I thought you were with your family. Oh, thank God you're not. Thank God. They went up ahead with their hostages, but... Lucia, I heard gunfire and screaming. You need to be ready for the worst.
If they've done anything to my people, I'm going to end them all.
Please do. I'll tell whatever I can to help. It's not much, but... My name is Bellamy Ward. I'm a scientist. I invented the solar collectors and experimental farms on top of the rocks. I was calibrating the solar arrays when the Dorseys came through here, herding their hostages with them. So I hid up here and kept out of sight. They're savages. Animals. They beat those people. Laughed at them when they begged for their lives. The kids were screaming, so they beat them too. Then they dragged them all further on, toward their camp. The PALs, photon amplification lenses. They harness and focus the ambient light. It's fascinating, actually. They polarize the waves and create constructive interference. Normally, they maintain a stable temperature for the plants, but they can be adjusted to help power the solar collectors, or even thaw frozen components. I once coupled a PAL with a dynamic cross-photon matrix. I was trying to cook some bison steaks, but it incinerated the whole fire pit, melted the entire grill. Goes to show what can happen if you put a decimal in the wrong place. A while ago, we found some old non-functional solar panels from before the deluge of fire. I couldn't figure out their function at first, until I recovered a microcircuitry board and developed a laser spectrography process. I realized that I could help solve some of the electrical generation issues that have always been a problem for the city. I think they took everyone to their camp, just past the Gateway Rocks.
What about my family, Belle?
Last I saw them, they were all right. They were scared and a little banged up, but they were still alive. You saved my life. I won't forget it.
Time for one last stand.
Bellamy Ward, PAL operational test number, 110. I've adjusted the angle of the solar collectors by 3.12 degrees to improve the energy transmission from the photonic amplification lenses. I've also attached a more sensitive voltmeter to the test panel, so I can hope...
Kicking ass and taking names.
to make my last installment on the farm.
Should I seen that? Goodman, here we go. What's in that pit? No. Can't see a thing. Who would do this? Who would murder families and children? Who would burn them so badly that we can't even tell? I don't know if they're here or not. I can't... Come on. Let's find the monsters who did this. That was one of the Schuyler girls, I think. Seems like we ought to leave her alone. Feels an awful lot like grave robbing. That was one of the Schuyler girls, I think. Seems like we ought to leave her alone. Feels an awful lot like grave robbing.
compromise agreed. On behalf of all of us here, I want to offer our unconditional surrender. As proof of our goodwill, I want to tell you that the culprits got into town with help from Farron Brygo's organization, and...
Isaac, how could you? How could you throw in with these people? How could you let them take my family? Where are my parents and my little brother?
They're in the grave you passed on the way here. They didn't suffer, Lucia, I promise. Baby, look, I didn't mean it to go this way. I tried to stop them, I really did. I begged.
Stop talking right now.
Not forgiveness. We want to face justice. We know what we did is wrong, but it was Nelius Dorsey. He went looking for your family, Lucia. Your family especially. That's why I got you out of your house before the raid. I didn't want anything to happen to you.
You didn't want anything to happen to me? So you let savages abduct and murder my family. You knew what they meant to me. You knew what their loss would do to me.
But you're still alive, Lucia. Don't you see? You're still alive, and that's what matters most to me. We've been under the Patriarch's boot for 50 years. We say that the 100 families are in charge, but it's really just his family. Just him. I know you must think I'm a fuzzy-headed idealist, but this society's sick. It needs to change. Farron Brygo's gang helped them get into town. I don't know how or why. And I overheard Nelius say something about Liberty Buchanan, the Patriarch's daughter. I think she's going to attack Colorado Springs. It sounded like she's gathering an army out in the plains. Something way worse than the Dorseys. He escaped. He took some vehicles and headed west into the mountains. I don't think he was planning to come back.
I have heard enough. If your betrayal of my family was not sufficient, your treachery here most certainly is. In the name of the Patriarch, I sentence you.
Please, Lucia. I did this for you. All I ever meant was to help build a better world for you. For all of us. I can't tell you how much I regret. Please don't kill me. Please.
A better way? I can't think of one. Not after what he did to my family. You want to let him walk away from what he's done? I have justice right here, in the palm of my hand. I am more than happy to mete it out. I would be delighted to be its instrument.
Thank you.
Come in, November 1. This is Ranger HQ. We're getting reports of shooting in your last known location at Garden of the Gods. What's your status? Over. Copy that, November 1. Dispatching an arrest team now. Good job getting those sons of bitches. Over and out.
You let Isaac live? After he gave aid and comfort to the enemies of the Patriarch, after he helped them kill my family, you let him live? Why arrest him when you killed all those others? What made him special? I'll be the keeper of my own conscience, thank you. I am a grown woman. You have no right to make these decisions for me. Forgive me. I appreciate the thought. This is just difficult. I suppose you're right, though. It is better not to have such a thing weighing on my soul. But the people who are truly responsible, Nelius Dorsey and Liberty Buchanan, I will bring justice to their doors. Will you help me find them? You can count on my guns every step of the way. Of course. Good. You've got yourselves a bargain, Rangers. We should go after Nelius Dorsey first. Isaac said he headed west into the mountains. No doubt he plans to hole up at one of the old resorts from before the bombs fell. I don't think we're ready to face him yet, though. Nelius will be dug in, I expect, and he'll have all his best people with him. He only left behind the expendables in the garden.
I thought she said she was gonna follow orders, not give them.
For now, we should head back to the sheriff.
How's the family?
Shut your hole. I know you slept with my wife.
Hey, slow down. I didn't, I swear.
All I did was ask a few questions.
Bedroom issues. Black bedroom stand.
Look, Martha, it's our friends who helped us save the shop. What can I do for you? We've got some discounts with your name on them. Hardly a crossword between us.
Get your Colorado Patriot here, hot off the press. Hey, you're the Rangers. Well, first time we met, I didn't know you were in town. Heard all about you now. Yep, I work for the Colorado Patriot, only newspaper left in America. We tell people what's happening in the city and what they should think about it. Well, it's the only safe place we've got. Vegas is gone. The robots saw to that. Refugees say the East is dying too. Might still be a couple nations out there, Motor City Combine and Buckeye Republic, but they were at war last we heard. Colorado's the only safe place left, and we have the Patriarch to thank. That makes this town the best place in the world near as I can tell, even if it isn't perfect. You bet! Extra, extra! Cowardly attack on Colorado Springs!
Ew, Troy! Those old people are looking at us?
It's okay, Brandy. I got this. Get lost, you perv douchebags. Before I... Wait a minute. You're old, right? Can you get us some beers? Stupid Mary Milkteeth won't sell us any. Too young, she says. Yeah, later.
Dozens killed by Dorsey thugs! Families taken hostage!
Hell yeah. I've always got a smile for the marshals and never piss them off. I stay in line.
I think we should pull some marshals from Broadmoor. Put them here in downtown. If an enemy...
I like your style, Rangers. I asked for a favor and you came through for me. Course, I'd have liked it better if you sent Isaac Reed and his traitor friends to me, rather than locking them up in Ranger HQ. Seems to me that if somebody commits a crime in Colorado Springs, they should face Colorado Springs justice. And I sure would appreciate it if you keep that in mind for the future. Glad to hear that. I think we'll get along fine. Now, before I forget, let me introduce you to Hope Emerson. She heard all about you coming to town and she wants to join up. Ain't that right, Hope?
Pleasure's mine, Rangers. Ran the lockup in a little town called Amity on Colorado's eastern border. Figured I could do the same thing for you at your HQ, assuming you'll be arresting people now and then.
Amity got flattened by the scar collectors a while back, so Hope came west. Been trying to get her to join the Marshals ever since, but she keeps turning me down flat. We have some differences when it comes to crime and punishment. But that aside, she's smart, honorable, and should be an asset to your organization.
Great. I'll head over to Ranger headquarters in a bit and start fixing up your brig. I can't think of a better way to serve than to ensure that our justice is fair, even to those who transgressed against it.
So, back to business. Did you find out how the Dorseys got into town? Well, since you already dealt with Isaac, let's concentrate on Brago. I'll never understand why the Patriarch let that rat set up shop here. Been nothing but trouble, so him making a deal with the Dorseys doesn't surprise me in the least. In fact, I had a hunch he might be involved, so I sent my best man over to his nightclub, the Little Vegas, to search for a connection. Haven't heard back from him, though, and I'm a little worried. Say, what if I asked you Rangers to go to Little Vegas and check up on him? And if you happen to find proof that Brago helped the Dorseys while you're there, well, feel free to cuff the bastard and haul him in. Take down Brago for me, and I'll make sure your HQ gets the best-equipped armory this side of the Rockies. Guns, ammo, armor, the whole shebang. The marshal I sent to the Little Vegas is named Delgado. Family man and the best inspector I've got. Keep him safe, and I'll owe you another favor. Always a pleasure, Rangers.
What do you think they do with the bodies from the pyramids?
Extra, extra, bloody shootout in Garden of the Gods!
So you gonna give us some boars or what? Holy shit, can you be any more lame?
Just... ew.
Lame.
All I did was ask a few questions. Who? Junko Murayama, sculptor, roboticist, amateur historian, and former curator of the Colorado Springs Museum of History. Can you believe it? I really fixed up that museum. Before me, just a bunch of dirty old trash we had to go look at 5 times a year in school. I brought the place into the 22nd century, scavenged some old robot parts to rebuild the animatronics, remade all the replicas from scratch, cleaned all the blood off the scar collector weapons. Good stuff. Officially, because of the Dorsey raid. But I think they didn't like the questions I was asking about the Patriarch's history while I was renovating the exhibits. I mean, why else would they tell me they'll be hiring a new curator? What's that got to do with the raid? I don't even know. I sent Diligent Joe, the Patriarch's private secretary, a list of questions about the Dorsey family and the routing of the Plains gangs. Just trying to clear up a few weird discrepancies, you know? Well, he doesn't get back to me, and then the raid happens, and I'm out on my ass with no explanation. That's weird, right? Heck yeah, I am. It was a real sight to behold before they shut it down. Animatronic exhibits portraying our great history. True relics of our struggle to survive, displayed for all to see. Authentic handmade replicas of lost treasures. Just some real A+ quality work, if I do say so myself. The marshals have the front boarded up, but there's a side entrance you might be able to open. It's never guarded, but they keep it locked. You didn't hear that from me. That's rad! Heck yes! Thank you! You won't regret this. You're over at the old airbase, right? I've read all about that place. I'll see you back at your HQ.